President Trump was on quite a roll and/or spiral today. I don't know if you've been following his activities, but he lashed out in so many directions, I don't even know where to start. The wagons are off the wheel. Trump again today attacked the late Senator John McCain. He did it in front of a group of tank manufacturers who didn't ask him about it. He said he never liked John McCain and complained that no one thanked him for giving John McCain the funeral he wanted. And that, by the way, didn't even make today's crazy top 5. Like an old man outside yelling on his lawn. The president was outside yelling on his lawn today about special counsel Robert Mueller.
Tens of millions of voters, and now somebody's going to write a report. Now I have somebody writing a report that never got a vote? Never figured that one out. Man gets appointed by a deputy, he writes a report. A man gets appointed by a deputy, he writes a report. It's sort of interesting that a man out of the blue just writes a report, and now somebody just writes a report. I think it's ridiculous. Somebody comes in, does a report out of nowhere? Tell me how that makes sense. So explain that, because my voters don't get it, and I don't get it.
All right, well, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't get it. It's kind of complicated. Let me put it in terms the president will understand. Okay, so let's say Phil Mickelson, the golfer, wins the Masters. He had the lowest score, and he won, just like you did. But according to the rules, he won. So he gets to put on the green jacket, and they give him the trophy. But then we find out later that his caddy Vladdy, by the way, did something to his rival, Tiger Woods. His caddy somehow got a groundskeeper to sneak into Tiger's golf bag and fiddle with his balls, which may have caused Tiger to lose the match. Now, you say, I didn't know my caddy Vladdy was fiddling with Tiger balls. I was busy winning. But the PGA says we need to look into this to find out if you knew that Tiger's balls were being fiddled with. And, of course, since this is Tiger Woods, maybe he paid off a Hooters waitress or two along the way, too. You understand? You can't just cover the divots and move on. Oh, we don't understand. All right. Well, in any event, I hope that clears things up for the president. This I don't understand either, but I am enjoying it nonetheless. Trump today continued his ongoing feud with George Conway, who's the husband of his chief henchwoman, Kellyanne Conway. At 7:51 a.m. today, he wrote, George Conway, often referred to as Mr. Kellyanne Conway by those who know him, is very jealous of his wife's success and angry that I, with her help, didn't give him the job with her help he so desperately wanted. I barely know him, but just take a look. A stone-cold loser and husband from hell. This woman works for him. And I wonder what Melania thinks when she hears him call someone else a husband from hell. Can eyeballs roll out of your head? Donald Trump knows what makes a good marriage. He's been married more times than any president ever. And not only does Donald Trump think George Conway is a stone-cold loser, he thinks he's a whack job, too.
What about George Conway? How do they fit the standard of first?
Well, I don't know him. Yeah, I don't know him. He's a whack job, there's no question about it, but I really don't know him. I think he's doing a tremendous disservice to a wonderful wife. Kellyanne is a wonderful woman, and I call him Mr. Kellyanne.
Yeah, the fact that he thinks being overshadowed by your wife is an insult kind of tells you all you need to know about his brain. But I really, more than anything in this whole, I just hope they all wind up on Dr. Phil. That would be my bedtime prayer tonight. This was good, too. During his morning lawn time, the president brought out some visual aids to give an impromptu presentation on the status of ISIS.
I brought this out for you because this is a map of everything in the red. This was on election night in 2016. Everything red is ISIS. When I took it over, it was a mess. Now, on the bottom, that's the exact same. There is no red. In fact, there's actually a tiny spot which will be gone by tonight.
Come on. He does know that's ketchup, right? I mean, he had McDonald's for brunch and nobody had the heart to tell him. So last night, and it was only a matter of time before this happened, but President Trump retweeted Larry the Cable Guy. He retweeted this. He wrote, not a good situation in reference to a video of a very white kid getting frisked by a TSA agent. This upset the president. Show that video here because why would the TSA frisk a kid when he could be frisking a perfectly good Miss America contestant instead? But what the president obviously didn't know is that A, he is in charge of the TSA, and B, the video is 2 years old. This is an old video. It was posted by an account called Deep State Exposed. They post conspiracies. Trump has now retweeted them 9 different times. His internet use is out of control. And you have to ask yourself, where are the parents? Where are the parents? But it's interesting, and I thought it might be educational to break down the path this video took to make it to our retweeter in chief. So come with me to the wall. We worked up a flow chart here, and I think you'll find this very fascinating. So this original video was shot by a woman named Jennifer Williamson in 2017, and for whatever reason, it was shared this week, 2 years later, by a Twitter account called Deep State Exposed, which is somehow connected to QAnon, this is a conspiracy group that spreads theories like the one where Hillary Clinton ran a child sex ring out of a pizza parlor in Washington, D.C. You know, just your typical stuff. So this tweet is from Deep State. It was then retweeted by the actor James Woods. James Woods once played Rudy Giuliani in a made-for-TV movie. That's Donald Trump's lawyer. His retweet was then retweeted again by Larry the Cable Guy, who played Buddy in the movie A Medea Christmas, Donald Trump's favorite film. And that retweet was then retweeted one final time from Larry the Cable Guy by President Donald J. Trump using his naughty little thumbs. And that, my friends, is how a bill becomes a law. As you know, the president makes his home away from home at his Palm Beach, Mar-a-Lago estate. And tonight, we shine a light on the Sunshine State with a new edition of This Week in Florida.
The acting mayor of Port Richey, 64-year-old Terrence Rowe, was arrested by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Rowe was serving as the mayor of Port Richey after former mayor Dale Massad was arrested.
Right. Thanks for watching. If you liked that video, click the subscribe button. And if you didn't like it, well, you hurt my feelings.